here at the Yamaha booth, or I should say massive room at NAMM 2014. I'm talking to Jim here about the Absolute Hybrid Maple drums, and I'm going to hand it over to you. Tell me what's so special about them, what makes them so different.
Well, this drum set was 3 years in the making. So this is built basically from the sound up, from the ground up. So it's an all new version of the Absolute series. What we did is we took the hybrid shell concept from our flagship PHX series, we morphed it down into the Absolute. So what hybrid shell means is there's two different kinds of wood in the shell. Our toms are all 7-ply, so there's 3 plies of North American maple, there's a ply of African wenge, which is a very hard, dense wood in the center, and 3 more plies of maple. The bass drums are 4, 1, and 4. So what the wenge does is it vibrates at a really high rate, and it essentially like energizes the maple, so it gives it a lower fundamental, and then richer in the mid-range and a little taste extra on the high, so you get a wider dynamic range and a wider tonal range for an overall bigger, more versatile sound. Everything about this kit was designed about the sound. So from testing a series of prototypes over 3 years with a bunch of our artists, we found that the hook lug is actually the best sounding lug on this shell. So we put the hook lug on it. We experimented cutting different bearing edges. So we have a 45 edge on the tops and bottoms of the toms, snares, and floor toms, but we used our PHX 60-degree edge on the bass drums. And then what we did also is we sort of redesigned our Yes bracket. This is what we call our Yes 3 version now, and it's got a smaller metal plate, and we masked it with a composite cover, so it's got a cleaner look. You see more of the shell, but it still has the shock mounting rubber grommets, and it's a little more versatile because this can be adjusted for 2 different size toms. That helps cut our production costs because that's half as many parts as we have to create. And then we morphed over from our live custom that we launched last year, smaller bass drum bracket, a little less metal on the shell, our bass drum spurs, which is the same leg, right and left. So it makes, for stocking parts for the dealer, it makes that much simpler as well. We do 10 hand-painted, hand-buffed lacquer finishes. So instead of doing 30 finishes, 20 of which you're not going to want to look at after a year later, we really spent a lot of time and a lot of marketing and talking to a lot of people to find 10 finishes that will appeal to a wide variation of customer, but something that 5 years down the road you're still going to want to look at. Yeah. So really with this kit, it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's got the best of our maple, the best of our birch, all merged into one. We're making this kit in our Yamaha factory that we built in Shaoshan. So the big thing for us is now we've moved all of our production to our own Yamaha factory in China, where we started making pianos 14 years ago, then we started making brass and woodwinds, marching percussion, and then last year when we launched Live Custom, that was the first acoustic kit out of that factory. So for us, this is really a new beginning for Yamaha drums. This is probably our biggest launch, really, since going back to recording custom, because it's a whole new thing for us, and we're real excited about the future. So great looking, great sounding drums, and the response has just been overwhelming so far.
Excellent, man. Well, thank you for your time. That's the Absolute Hybrid Maple Series from Yamaha. We'll talk to you soon.